The notion that the devil wants to keep Christians poor is a concept rooted in biblical teachings and has been explored by numerous theologians and scholars. According to Christian doctrine, Satan, also known as the devil, is an adversary who seeks to undermine God's plans and thwart the well-being of his children. One of the primary ways the devil achieves this is by perpetuating poverty among Christians, thereby limiting their ability to fulfill the divine purpose and live a life of abundance. The Bible explicitly states that God desires for his children to prosper and live a life of abundance. In 3 John 1:2, the Apostle John writes, "Beloved, I pray that ye may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers." Similarly, in Psalm 35:27, David declares, "Let them shout for joy and be glad, who favor my righteous cause, and let them say continually, Let the Lord be magnified, who has pleasure in the prosperity of his servant." These scriptures demonstrate that God's intention is for his children to thrive and live a life of prosperity, not just spiritually, but also physically and financially. On the other hand, the devil's primary objective is to steal, kill, and destroy. John 10:10. By keeping Christians poor, the devil achieves several of his goals. Firstly, poverty can lead to a lack of faith and trust in God's provision. When Christians are struggling to make ends meet, they may begin to doubt God's ability to provide for them, leading to a weakening faith. This, in turn, can cause them to lose sight of their purpose and become ineffective in their witness and ministry. Furthermore, poverty can also limit a Christian's ability to give and bless others. The Bible teaches that giving is a fundamental aspect of the Christian faith, and that those who give generously will be blessed in return. Luke 6:38, 2 Corinthians 9:6-8. When Christians are poor, they are unable to give thus freely, which can hinder their ability to demonstrate the love and generosity of Christ to a world in need. By keeping Christians poor, the devil effectively silences their witness and limits their impact. Additionally, poverty can lead to a multitude of other issues, including stress, anxiety, and depression. These negative emotions can weigh heavily on a person's spirit, causing them to become withdrawn and isolated. The devil can then use these emotions to his advantage, whispering lies and half-truths into the person's ear, further exacerbating their struggles. By keeping Christians poor, the devil creates an environment that is ripe for spiritual attack and deception. It is essential to note that the devil's desire to keep Christians poor is not just limited to financial poverty. The devil also seeks to perpetuate spiritual poverty, which can manifest as a lack of purpose, vision, and direction. When Christians are not fulfilling their divine purpose, they can become stagnant and unproductive, which can lead to a sense of emptiness and disillusionment. The devil can then use this sense of discontent to lead Christians astray, tempting them to seek fulfillment in worldly pursuits rather than in their relationship with God. In conclusion, the devil's desire to keep Christians poor is a multifaceted attack that seeks to undermine their faith, limit their ability to give and bless others, and perpetuate spiritual poverty. By understanding the devil's tactics, Christians can take steps to overcome poverty and live a life of abundance, as intended by God. This requires a deep understanding of biblical teachings, a strong faith, and a commitment to trusting in God's provision. As Christians, we must recognize the devil's schemes and resist his attempts to keep us in poverty, choosing instead to walk in the abundance and prosperity that God has ordained for us.